We're up and going.
What up, people?
What up?
What up? What up?
There's so much happening.
What up? What up?
And I know
What up?
we're not going to be able to talk about all of it. But
Welcome
Man.
to the Fellas Forum.
What's up, y'all?
What's up?
Mike probably sleep again. You know how you do.
It sounds like he is.
He'll be here
been a
eventually.
lot going on. My internet is probably spotty. I apologize in advance. My internet was a little spotty.
Yeah, T-Will still
That's
having a
what
little
you
bit of
get
problem,
when
too.
you're working with yeah. You got Mediacom. That's why I said it. Mediacom sucks.
CenturyLink
I
sucks.
said it.
At this
There's a
house,
lot of people
CenturyLink.
that don't know what that is.
I said what I said. There's a
Yeah,
lot of people that
don't
do know what
that is.
Mediacom is, and they suck.
Well, there goes that
If you
sponsorship.
come anywhere
later.
in the Midwest, you damn sure.
Well, it helps
I
me-
wouldn't take it.
Hey, it helps me on Call of Duty. That's all I can tell you.
I need to actually download it again
It ain't helping
sometime.
you right now.
I haven't played Call of Duty in so long, I probably suck.
Man, Joe still talking
This
about.
just in.
Joe still talking about.
Somebody
download
found a
Call of
raccoon
Duty.
in a
I know.
recycling bin and had to run for their life.
Dang.
It's hilarious. So, lot going on. Man, can y'all hear me at all?
Yeah, I think you have a bit of a delay, though.
T-Will, what's going on with you? You good, man?
Yeah, you have a delay.
I'm delayed.
You're like you were froze.
Yeah, and your responses are kind of slow.
It's,
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know what to do about that. I'm on the hotel internet. That's all I can do.
Wow,
Got
I'll
the
make it
sprinkler
work.
head in the back view.
Make it work.
Well,
Today,
you
what
can
we're
talk
gonna be
less.
talking about, everyone, is there's a lot of stuff in the news about football and who's
All right, we're losing soup a little bit.
Can-
Yeah, in the college football scene right now,
Shut
the
the fuck up. The Big 12
Big
and
Ten.
the Pac-10 both
Big Ten, Pac-12.
canceled their season until the spring.
We're still losing you soup.
Okay, did y'all hear? Y'all ain't hear none of that, man.
In and out.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, but the Big Ten
Wow.
and the Pac-12 canceled the fall football season. They said they have plans to return in the spring, but they are going to wait and see what happens when it comes closer to that time. So I think this is kind of feeding into a fear I've had pretty much all year since COVID started, and we started seeing how severe it is are we even going to have football this fall? Now, the NFL says they
It's a
are,
big if.
but if outbreaks start really getting crazy, especially with teams, because there's a lot of players that are concerned that they get sick, they get permanent damage, they can't play the rest of their career, they're done. So,
Hmm.
I don't know. I've been looking a lot into this.
Can't feed their families. Can't do
feed them.
nothing.
You can't
There's
do
a lot
nothing.
of stuff.
And you got to change your career
and all
suddenly.
that.
But
Right.
also, like,
Yep.
with college, apparently a lot of college athletes were thinking about, maybe playing in different conferences if their conference wasn't playing.
yeah, I did hear that from a couple of
Yeah.
couple of
Can
teams.
they do that?
Because
Apparently not.
Yeah,
No,
I-
they can't.
I
They
think-
can't do that.
No, there's
Well-
contracts that they
Yeah.
have signed that will prevent them from playing in other conferences.
the University of Nebraska,
That's what.
they were one of the ones that were talking about. They were
Right.
one of the ones that were talking about trying to just instead of fulfilling their conference obligations, they were just going to have a schedule of non-conference games so they can get all of their games in.
But the problem is with that, Reese, them non-conference games they trying to schedule, those games are in conference. So what conference is going to release them teams just to play Nebraska? See,
Yeah.
Well, you
Nebraska
but see,
say
if-
what they want to do, but what they're going to do is two different things.
What conference
But
is
see, if
Nebraska
you-
in?
they're in the Big Ten. If you follow the money, so just say Florida A&M or a Georgia Southern, like those teams get tremendous amounts of money to basically go and lose to a Nebraska. I guess I mean
So much
essentially that's
disrespect was just thrown.
no essentially that's what it is. I mean the last not not division was it a Division 1A now? The last Division 2 team was Alcorn, was it Alcorn State that beat Michigan, if I'm not mistaken?
You talking about Appalachian State,
Yeah, Appalachian State.
and
Thank you.
they're not D2, they D1, they D1 AA.
There you go. Yeah, I knew they changed. I knew they changed everything around.
But I think you hit a good point there, Reese. I mean, there's a lot of money in professional and college sports. I mean, it's insane how much money these schools make off this stuff, and the fact that the conference itself makes a buttload of money off of
Right.
these
You need to
teams.
start paying them players to play.
Yeah, they are going to. Apparently, some states are requiring
But
it. But
but see,
the
see,
point
Joe,
is,
here's
it's a huge
the point, man.
decision.
Here's just the point.
Hmm
These are amateurs. They're not pro athletes. These are amateurs, which means that some of them need parents' permission for their child to go out there and play. And if college deems that it's unsafe for the college to have fans in the stadium, then how is it safe for you to play out there on the field?
Yeah.
Amateur now, because you're not getting paid millions of dollars. This is not your choice. This is the college choice.
Right.
And I'm a parent, and my son in college playing right now. I'm very uncomfortable for my son be out there playing, making university millions of dollars when they won't even accept fans in the stand or students inside the classroom. But you're gonna have my son out there running routes, catching the football, taking a chance on getting sick, getting this virus, and he's not getting paid for it.
I think still also, I mean, that's a good point too, that they're not getting paid, and that doesn't make
All
much
right,
sense to keep
TJ.
going. Why can the school still make a profit while the students are putting their lives at risk and not even getting paid?
Right.
Well,
But it's a
some
huge
would,
decision all the
What's
same.
more
Some people-
important?
some people are always going to argue that the education is the payment, and I don't agree with it. That's just an
And
argument.
no, it's not.
That's the argument. There's like you're getting a free education, yada yada, and I would say, as playing some college sports, it ain't free. Getting up and doing all them practices and trying to juggle schoolwork and all that stuff, that ain't free. I don't know when
Definitely pay
I don't
for
know
it.
right.
labor
Blood, sweat, and
stopped
tears.
labor stopped being free in 18 what?
Right. So that, man, bro, you get up 4:00 in the morning. Your day start at 4:30.
Yes.
You got to get to the gym.
Yep.
You got to get to
Yep.
the gym. Then you got to practice after that. Then you got to go back and shower, eat breakfast, get to class. When class over with, then you got to go back to the weight room later
Right.
on that day between 1 and 2. And then once that's over with, you still got to practice that day from 6 to 8. And you have a 2-hour window to chill before you got to get up and do this all over again.
Right.
Right. And still maintain your grades on top of all that.
And maintain your grades.
And maintain, yeah.
So it ain't
Yeah.
free.
Oh,
Yeah, it is not
hopefully.
free. And I mean, the other thing is, the part that I think would be a good compromise is that if you're making money, if the university is making money off the likeness of that individual,
Oh.
I think some of that money needs to go to them.
see, that's
I
where I
mean,
kind of felt
Even
like,
in a
Mhm.
if it's like a trust fund, or it's like, okay, if you graduate or you leave this university, at the end of that time you get this set amount of money, whether it goes towards if they have some type of tuition that they need to pay off, partial scholarship or whatever, or something. I think that's a good trade-off, because it's not just a handout. They work for it.
Right.
yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw a wrench in here real quick. So, what athletes should it be equal, or should it be based on the popularity of the sport?
I think it
Okay.
depends on the school.
It's always going to depend on the like Joel said, it's going to depend on the school and like I said, if you base it off their likeness, that's the fairest way to do it. So if
Mhm.
you reach the wide receiver number 37, and
Popping.
they got you holding a black M&M or something, and they're like, oh, that's his thing. Like, you ate M&Ms, and they had university or whatever M&Ms with Reese on it, and they selling those shirts. You should get some money off of that. And that's why I think a lot of universities are trying to skate the line, because if let's just say Cam Newton is
They
number
getting
10
endorsements.
at his university, they just gonna sell jersey number 10. They're not
Right.
selling Cam Newton's jersey. So I think
Mhm.
that's how they get away with it.
Yes,
But
and
everybody knows who that jersey is representing at that time.
yes. And,
Right.
and Soup right, because the biggest jersey sale ever in college football history are two: Reggie Bush and Tim Tebow.
Yep.
Mhm.
Everybody know who
Tim
number
Tebow,
15
really?
was for the Gators, and
Mhm.
everybody know who number 5 was for USC.
Right.
Mm.
And see,
Yeah.
even going back a little further, I listened to Jalen Rose, Jalen and Jacoby podcast, and he would say back in the Fab Five days, he would go into any Foot Locker or any whatever store that sold sports merchandise, and he would say his stomach will be grumbling, and the shoes that they wore, the black socks, the baggy shorts, and the jerseys with all the Fab Five numbers on it. He said they will be $60-$70 in those stores, and people are buying them like hotcakes, and they get nothing from that. But I think at the beginning of next year, the video games, I believe it's EA Sports, will start paying those players
Yeah, that's what I heard.
their likeness for the numbers. But I think
But
it's college football.
I think EA Sports is going a little farther because they actually doing a likeness. Some of those guys look like the player.
I
just
just
like
got
the
off
player,
of
So
2K.
So
I
I mean,
just got off
if
of
you're
it.
not paying them guys off their likeness for that, I mean that just ain't right because if all the guys on Madden and
Right.
NFL players they getting paid. So what's the difference?
Mhm.
You know, and
But it goes back to what
Absolutely.
Tracy said: amateur and pro. Well, the professionals they have to
once
get
somebody
paid.
starts making money off of you, you are no longer amateur in my eyes. You call it what you want to. That's what I think.
Yeah. But
Uh-oh,
but
I
it's
must have froze again.
No, you're good.
no, you're good. But
You're good.
they're being it's been how many years since any college football game or college basketball? I remember Coach K way back maybe in the early '90s, late '80s, playing it, and and the players Grant Hill and all those guys,
All right, bro.
they didn't get paid for it. But I know it's a
Yeah,
new
their
time.
numbers was going crazy.
Yeah, it's a new day and time. So,
So
but
And
I guess there has to be an argument with the school, though, or a discussion with the school, because I know they're using, because tuition is expensive. Now, obviously, they're not paying what a student would pay in tuition; they're paying whatever else. But they do have to give that student like all the equipment. They got to pay for all the facilities. They got to figure out how to make money. So, I mean, I
Right.
don't think you would ever be able to win an argument with a school or all the different schools saying you have to pay them for every single bit. I think it's
So-
going to be more like,
Well-
well, we can
well,
pay
hang
them for
on.
this and that, and
well,
then
well, this is what I can tell you. Concessions and ticket sales pays for a lot of that stuff.
right, and I was gonna add to that it's these schools. Okay, just say Cam Newton says that year that Auburn University, because Auburn was just mediocre until then. They were decent, but
Mhm.
Cam Newton took them to the top of the hill. He put them on top of the mountain, and I guarantee Auburn University brought in billions of dollars just off of football.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Billions of dollars.
Just to see him play.
They were sold out every game. And what is that? 12 games? That's just what, about 12 games. And so that paid for 10 years of school. That paid for more. That's more money than most of that tuition is going to cost for 15, 20 people.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
that's
it would be
wild.
interesting
Yeah.
to see how that evolves.
I really think Reese makes a good point there
Yeah.
because it's like I said, it's one of those things where they're making their money.
Yeah,
They're
they-
Right.
making their money.
No question about it.
That tuition that student's getting and the little fringe benefits they're getting, they're going to buy the equipment regardless.
Yeah,
Sometimes Nike or Adidas or somebody else is sponsoring that school and giving them a lot of that stuff, so they're not even paying for a lot of that stuff, or they're getting it at a greatly reduced rate. So
isn't it illegal for a sponsor to go directly to a student and sponsor?
absolutely, 100%.
So then,
A student, but not a team, right?
Yeah,
Not a
but
is-
you're gonna
team.
have okay. So
It-
like one.
It is illegal for a sponsor team to make contact with a student.
Okay,
Right,
well, I guess
right.
that's the question is, so they only want the quarterback of that said football team, or the running back, wide receiver, whoever you want, tight
Not
end,
necessarily.
and they put them in their ad because they want to advertise to college students or on college, networks that are broadcasting these
Right.
games. These players, that one player is not going to get paid, or is it the whole team? I mean, that's the question. I guess
But even wait,
So-
say that again.
the sponsor can only go through the school, so that becomes sponsorship money going
Right.
to the school.
Right.
If the school is going to disseminate that money, but they only wanted one player from that team, is that player going to make the money, or is it going to be
No,
disseminated
they-
against the entire
they-
team?
Well, they have to do it as a team thing because they can't, like TJ said, they can't even make contact with them. It's illegal.
I understand
It-
that. I'm just
yeah,
like,
it
how would
violates-
how would the school disseminate the money in that situation? We don't know
Well-
because obviously there's
Well,
no
that's what I'm
standard.
saying because you're saying it's a likeness though. So if they're selling Brian Campbell jerseys, then Brian Campbell should get a cut. If they're selling number 10 jerseys for whoever university, then it's going to be like I said, kind of the paper thin semantics kind of thing. Yes, everybody knows they buying that jersey because of me, but they're not directly saying my name. Even though every
Yeah.
Friday number 10 is being yelled out and it's my number,
Right, and then also like Brian said, it's a team sport. So just because you are
It's one
the
player.
number one quarterback or the number one running back doesn't mean you're doing this on your own.
Right.
You have to have somebody to block for you. You have
Right.
to have somebody you have to have a coach. You have to have a multitude of people to make a team. So one person might get more, but everybody's going to get paid eventually.
Right.
That's how. If
Because
I
it's
was
a team
Nike, I'd
sport.
do that same way. Shit, if I can get one or two players off a team, and all I have to do is sponsor the whole team, I'm sponsoring the whole team. Whatever
but-
y'all want from us.
And look at it
Good
like this.
strategy.
So if you pay attention to all these colleges and their jerseys, most of them are represented by different shoe
Yeah.
organizations,
Nike,
right?
Adidas.
So yeah, Nike, Adidas.
Not really. Nike kind of got it sold up. Adidas is starting to break in a little bit. Adidas
Well,
had
Adidas
all
is
the,
Yeah,
Notre
I've seen
Dame.
a couple on their
Adidas
jerseys.
had all the soccer sold up forever.
Is Puma
Nike's
pretty
trying
much
to-
dead now?
No,
No,
Puma's
Puma
Puma's
is-
European.
I see Puma in the
Yeah.
stores.
There are a lot of European teams like a soccer team.
I know-
Puma's
Right.
like
Mhm.
a lot of
Adidas and
soccer.
Puma are like the rivalry.
Racquetball, golf, even with Puma. I'm starting to see a lot of
Yeah.
people wearing Puma stuff in golf.
Is it Rory?
So, yeah, I believe so. So I mean, they're out there. They're just kind of
They're just not in like football or basketball.
No,
yeah,
but so
so-
Puma just made Puma just
Oh my
signed-
gosh, Big Mike just joined.
I know,
Wow.
clown.
So I think two
He
He was
two
actually
years
working,
ago,
I could tell.
Puma two years ago, Puma made their big impact back into the NBA, and so like for us, Michael Porter Jr.,
Mhm.
Bagley. I mean, they signed a bunch of people. They still haven't made a humongous impact, and
Right.
it'll be a long time before they pass Nike, before anybody passes Nike or
Mhm.
Jordan, because those are the
Now-
top notch.
Now, I will tell you that Adidas has a great foothold in everywhere but the United States because they, like I said, they had soccer locked down. You
Right.
you don't see many Nike soccer balls. Nike didn't really get on the scene as good as they did until the women won the World Cup because they were wearing Nike stuff. That's
Mhm.
what kind of pushed them into the
Yeah,
soccer
when-
realm of selling their merchandise through soccer because before that it was Adidas hands down.
Yeah, when old girl, I can't think of her name right now, but when she pulled her shirt up, and she had the Nike symbol on the sports bra. I can't think of her name right now, but
Rapinoe.
no, it wasn't Rapino. It was way before. It was.
Oh,
the
you're
te-
talking
she
about
played-
yeah,
she
she's
played on the team with Mia Hamm.
yeah.
She's
So,
an ESPN analyst now, but I can't think of her
Okay.
name.
but
You
anyway,
sure that wasn't Bill Ham?
anyway,
No, it wasn't Mia Hamm.
to long story short, ain't gonna be no college football. Might not be no NFL football.
Well, there's still a few other conferences, so they're still having it. It's just that there is
They
a
ain't gonna-
very good chance that many of them are
well,
going to also come out. And say
when
they're
the
not gonna do it.
conferences drop out, that kind of takes away from the championship. So you got a
Right.
problem.
And we
So-
hadn't heard about the SEC yet.
Yeah,
They're
they gonna
They're-
wait till the last minute.
They're
Trust
thinking
that.
about it.
Mhm.
Believe that.
and
So-
they're probably the biggest conference. Go ahead.
So we have another guest tonight, people.
Oh,
we
yes.
have a educator. Her name is Leah Benedict. She's going to be joining us shortly to talk to us about things school and the new normal, as they call it.
Yeah,
That's
it's going to be.
I call
different.
it.
crazy.
I don't think it's the new normal. I think it's the.
normal.
Hello, Leah. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Hey, how's it
Hello.
going?
How are you?
Hello.
Nice
How you
to
doing,
meet you.
Leah?
I'm doing
Uh,
well.
I do all the talking. I'm not really a host for real. I just run my mouth a lot.
So he's the host.
We fill in the
Yeah.
gaps when his internet fails.
Right. I'm in a hotel. I'm subject to whatever they get me. So, TJ is joining us via vocal. He had a Lululemon photo shoot, and he can't show the new line just yet.
All right.
Man,
You got
NDAs
jokes.
suck, don't
You
they?
got jokes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Leah.
Well, I am from Ashland, same place Joel's from.
Hey, don't tell
And-
nobody that.
Sweet.
Oh,
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. It's fine. Nobody cares.
It's a joke.
Busted.
You're supposed to warn me then.
It's fine.
I love animals. We have a dog and 2 cats. I'm married, and we're expecting our first baby in January.
Yes, big
Congrats.
congratulations.
All right.
Thank
Congrats.
you. And I've been a teacher. This will be my 9th year.
hmm
So
Sweet.
also
I had
Okay.
no idea you.
So you got a lot of
Professional.
lot of experience with teaching. The first question I have for you is always going to be always what I thought is with the online learning. How do you feel about that?
I feel that it is good if the kiddos have that support and have the means to do it. But I know that that is not a reality in which we live.
Mhm.
So I think it's better than nothing, but I
Mhm.
don't think it's as good as, in person with a teacher professor.
What grade do you teach?
I taught 5th for 1 year. I taught 2nd for 6 years, and this is my 2nd year in 1st grade.
Okay. With that being said, do you feel like, I mean, I know there's a certain amount of technology that goes into teaching these days, and it's a very useful tool, but when you have to lean on it so heavily with that age group, does it seem to slip between the cracks, or is it something that can be modified in a certain way to maybe make it useful and helpful towards the kids in that age group?
It can definitely be useful in the right ways. A lot of, if you're in education, a lot of focus is on the rigor, and we want kiddos thinking and problem solving and creating solutions, and then presenting those things. But at that age when, right now we're teaching them how to read, it's very hard for them to do research and present what they've learned all the time
Right.
when, we're just kind of getting the basics down. And that's kind of really where the challenge is with our age group, is using it in a deeper way than more than just like rote memorization, because of course they can use it to practice math facts or study their spelling words and things like that. There are a million apps on there for that, but
Mhm.
to really get them thinking critically is hard to do with just an iPad or a tablet if you don't have that teacher or adult support.
Kind of
Okay.
segueing away from that. So, I'm sorry. Which grade did you say you taught right now?
First,
First. So first is actually it's a very obviously the earlier grades are really important because you're setting the foundation for the learning for the rest of their time in school. You know, reading, writing, basic math, stuff like that, and socializing, so on and so forth. So, I mean, how much do you depend on like body language and just, you know, kind of seeing how your student may be struggling with something or how they're really, really good with something while they're in the classroom as opposed to remote? I feel like that's a big handicap for you as a teacher to be able to actually really see what's going on with the student and how well they're, you know, learning.
Yeah, you're right on there. That is a huge handicap. A lot of times kids won't even know, you know, how to express what they're feeling or why they're not getting something. And it does take a lot of, you know, we're sitting down, we're in small groups. I'm seeing them work individually. And
Right.
then based on what I observe right then and there, I can be like, oh, well, you know, that's the hole, that's what they're missing. But it would never be something that they could verbalize yet. And it is hard to know, especially when they're at home, how much help that they are getting. Because obviously, you know, I went to school to be a teacher. Was in college for 6 years. There's definitely techniques and methods to getting kids to think on their own and work on their own and not, you know, giving them the answers, which I feel like, you know, a lot of adults can tend to do if they're not given the right training to do so. So it's kind of like,
I'll just say new math is hard. New math is hard.
oh my
It's so
God.
freaking weird.
I hate it. I
It's
hate
so
it.
weird.
Especially when
I
they
hate
bring it home and you got to try to figure it out. I'm on
And
YouTube. What
I'm
the
like,
hell?
why are we taking the long way? The road is over there.
Like, why
What
is
we
my
doing?
daughter drawing a grid with
I
dots
know.
in it?
Oh,
I'm
man.
like, what the heck's going on?
You guys can call me anytime. Hit me up. I'll help you too.
Can you help me
Oh.
with this first grade math?
I know. I'm
Right.
trying to get 50 plus 50, but it is taking me too long.
That's the funniest thing is like, because when the girls come back and they're like, Dad, you need help with my math. And I'm like, okay, I will. And she's like, I start doing it. I'm like, telling them how to do it. They go, that's not how we're supposed to do it. And I have to show my work.
Right.
I have to draw this box. And I'm like,
Yeah.
a box? What the heck is a box for?
I know.
It's 5
like
plus
we're
7. Come on.
We're just adding numbers here. What's the box about? What is
yeah,
that?
it's confusing.
Are
So
Aaliyah, are you guys gonna have to like do any type of COVID tests for the kids or for the teachers before they go into the classroom at all? How's that
No.
gonna work?
The county that I work in actually purchased thermal cameras that will check everyone that walks through the door
wow.
Wow.
pretty darn quickly. So if there is a temperature that it reads, we can find that person pretty immediately and get them isolated
Wow.
and get them out.
That's pretty
So
cool. I
very
never
fortunate
thought
for
of
that. Yes. And then in order, if they have symptoms of COVID, they have to come back with a doctor release.
So, how are they handling that? So, I mean, obviously they're checking temperatures on the way to the door, but sometimes if you're asymptomatic, you may be able to get past that because a fever is a symptom,
Right.
and you're going to be in that class. All of a sudden, the teacher's exposed, all the students are exposed. Possibly, who knows how many students in the hallways, cafeteria. Obviously, you guys are going to have some sort of separation in their plan, but like in Ashland, when we got our plan for our kids, they said if a teacher tests positive or one of the students tests positive, pretty much that person is going to be in the people they're around 2 weeks out of the school.
Yes.
I just feel like that. Well, I guess the first question is, does your school have the same plan, or do they have something
Yes.
similar?
If a person tests positive, they have to quarantine for 14 days before they're allowed back in the building. And then the county will come and they also will do what's called contact tracing. So this year is very, very important to have. We basically are going to have pods of kids that sit at the same tables in our classroom, sit in the carpet together, walk in line together, go to specials together, eat lunch together. And so if any of them come up positive, we can tell you exactly where that kid has been and who they have been around.
So when you
and
say
walking
pods, you're
in-
not talking about per class, you're talking about a couple or 3 different classes, maybe more together that go out and do all these things together as opposed to the whole school?
No, I'm talking about within my class, like 3 to 4
Oh.
kids will sit at a table and those
Different
same
groups.
3 or 4 kids will sit at the same table in art, and we'll walk in line together, and we'll sit at the lunch table together. We'll be at the same group at recess together, so we know
Wow.
exactly where they've all been at
That's
all times.
crazy.
So then, after the contact
Wow.
tracing, they'll let everyone know, and if they show any symptoms, they have to get tested. But again, the asymptomatic thing is, I mean, we'll never know really with that if
Right.
they are. So
Hey, Reese, you were gonna say something?
Yeah. So are you basically saying that you would rather have the kids or the children in school than versus learning online?
For learning and academic and social emotional purposes, yes, 100%. But am I nervous of a spread of a serious disease? Yes. I think there's no good answer.
Mm-hmm.
I would not want to be the one making the calls on those things,
Right.
because we've seen the negative impact that this has
Right.
had on adults with their mental
Oh, yeah.
stability during this time.
I missed a lot of good stuff there. My internet froze.
Oh man, you missed a lot of good stuff actually.
You'll see it on the
Yeah.
you'll see it on the vid.
Yeah,
So
you gotta watch the
one-
video now.
one more question before you move on, Joel.
Oh, it's fine.
So me and my wife, we have a little guy. He's 5. He's going into kindergarten, and we're on the bench right now because we don't. So right now we're not going to send him to school. In the school district that we're in, they have a collection of teachers. Some are from Springfield, some are from just various areas, and so what they're going to do is the teachers that didn't want to go back to the classroom, they're going to be teaching virtually, right?
Mhm.
And so the first 2 weeks we're going to let him go virtually and see how it works. It's going to be from 8 to 2:30, 2 15-minute breaks and a recess. And then also when he goes to school, I mean, if he goes to school, just like you said, everybody will be in the same class. They'll have recess together. They'll have bathroom breaks. Well, actually, they're putting bathrooms in each class. So my question is, are you guys okay? I got 2 questions. So
Spit it out. Spit it
so
out.
why-
Spit it
so
out.
why
Today, Junior.
So Wi-Fi, are you guys in the district or the county that you're in? Are you guys set up or capable for the kids that cannot go to get a Wi-Fi connection? Are you guys set up for that? Because I know in the beginning that was the issue that our district had. A lot of kids weren't able to get that Wi-Fi connection or go, and then food wise also, because I know a lot of these kids depend on the school lunches.
Yes. So with the Wi-Fi, we cannot really help as far as internet, but we are fortunate enough that our district is already 1-to-1. So every kid K-12 already has their own iPad.
Mhm.
They usually stay at school for our little ones, but if they choose to do virtual, we will send that home. So they will have that, because we did have some cases of kiddos. They would come park in the school parking lot where they could reach the Wi-Fi, very dedicated parents, which props to them. And they would work off their parents' phone,
Right.
to get this schoolwork done. So we are, supplying them with the tools, but not the actual internet.
Mhm.
Just because we can't.
Right.
I know that I think Charter was doing like a free, like if you were quarantined and your kiddo was out of school, they were providing that to students, but I don't know how it looks for this semester.
So-
going
That's a
forward.
good point.
So,
I'll see if I can
one
find
thing.
anything
Hold
on that
on,
and
hold
put it
on.
in the video.
I'm gonna jump in here in a second. So one thing that you reminded me of, I used to be in law enforcement, and when we started having laptops in the car, one of the things was always, how are we going to maintain a Wi-Fi connection? So they started out with the data cards that was super expensive. So what they did was they put hotspots in a few different places around the county. So we could do things, and if we needed to upload something, we could drive to a spot and upload stuff. I don't know. I wonder why they
That's
haven't
pretty
like
cool.
thought about that. We had like 3 different places we could go and park and connect to the Wi-Fi and upload anything that we needed to upload, pictures, reports, anything like that. And it was super fast, and then we could just go on about our day.
Do
So I
you
wonder.
know how far those hotspots work?
Um,
This-
the ones that they had set up for us were, you had to be pretty close. You had to basically like be in the parking lot of the place
So
to.
our problem with that is I work in a very rural school district,
Yes.
like farmland, or like kids
So
can't walk to school. We
yeah,
don't
like
even have sidewalks because
one
it's
of
up
the
off the
one of
country.
the one of the hot spots that we had, we called it hotspot, was in one of the rural parts of the county. It was basically at the volunteer fire station,
Mm.
and you could go park there and upload your things you had to do. So they had one kind of far out, they had one kind of midway, and they had one on the other end of the county. I was a county deputy, so
Oh.
we couldn't, if we came into the city, we could pick up a signal somewhere, but if we were out, we had to go to that specific spot. I can't say that word. Help me out. Is that hard, the new math word?
Specific.
Oh my god.
Thank you. So
That
I
new
know you guys
English you're
probably
not used to, right?
I know you guys probably talked about the hybrid method while I was frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I figured. I kind of caught pieces of it.
The hybrid, we actually have 4 plans in place
Oh.
for reentry into the school. And
Specific.
our plan C is to go hybrid
Mhm.
and switch staff and students on and off days. And then on whatever day you're off, you're teaching or learning online.
So one question I had about the pod. So say a pod gets sick, is the plan to keep those kids working during that time, or just to let them be on vacation? Or
I think it depends on how sick they are, right?
if the teacher goes down, does she go down with the pod and they all sniffle together? I mean,
yeah, so we have
like bad boys for life, ride together, we COVID together.
that's how I'd like it to be, but that's not my call. But
Can't do that.
so we have 3 different options for if someone does test positive. And the first 2 basically involve lots of sanitation and time away from the school. And the first one is, if you're not showing symptoms, you can still come back after a deep cleaning in 24 hours. Everybody at home, and then
That's for the teacher.
What?
That's for the teacher, correct?
No, you're saying if a teacher has it,
Yes.
teacher gets it, they would like immediately let everyone know that they've been in contact, and then they can choose if they want to stay home for 14 days or if there's no symptoms, or they can get tested. However, their family wants to handle it, they can come back. But if they show symptoms at all, they have to be tested, and it goes back to that original thing. But we would have to find a substitute, and that's where we're really worried. If any of us do get it and do have to be out,
Get it.
Finding substitutes
Scary
is already a struggle. So to find one for 2 weeks, and then
I would come substitute, but I'm teaching them old math. Sorry.
you know what? It's better than nothing right now. So
I'm
Definitely.
teaching them old math.
I don't
We
think
gonna
you
get some-
survive first grade. I'm just
we
gonna
gonna
be
get
totally
some-
honest, man.
Man, I can handle first graders still this tall.
Man, it's gonna be kindergarten cop all over.
It's not a tumor. It's not a
It's
tumor.
not a tumor. No, yeah, it's.
That's my show. That's my
That-
guy.
So
I see that right now.
this is a personal question. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to, if you're uncomfortable with it. With you being expecting, how comfortable are you with this going forward with this?
So
You
I talked
can
to my-
plead no contest.
No, it's okay. No. I talked to my OB about it, and he said from what they're seeing so far, in pregnant women that have tested positive for COVID, it is not common at all that it crosses the placenta
Right.
even, and then even if it does,
That's awesome.
the mom's immune system takes care of it. And he said even if you have a baby and then you contract it and you're nursing, they said to just keep on doing it. So the real concern is more for me, I guess, than the
Yeah.
baby. But my husband is type 1 diabetic, so I'm a little more concerned about bringing it home
Yeah.
I
to
keep
him.
forgetting that he is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, than
Mm.
anything. But I'm gonna be cautious. So
Yeah,
So what? Wait, one more quick question.
yeah.
So
that's a lie.
what? You're right. So what?
Take advantage,
Um,
man. Take advantage.
what is the mask? What is the mask rule for your district or your? Is it
Our-
everybody has to wear a mask, or is it? Because here it's K through 5 no mask, and then 6 through 12 mask. Is it
That's what
similar,
it
or?
originally was the little ones didn't have to have it. And
Mhm.
then 6 and up were going to have to, and I don't really know what happened, what the discussions were with the school board, but now it is completely up to the family and the parents and the teacher, and it's just up to your discretion.
So wait, so you don't have to wear a mask? Oh
and
wow.
neither do the kids, but I am going to. And I'm going to emphasize it, especially like when we're in reading groups, we're all sitting right there together reading, talking. But it will be encouraged in my classroom, but I cannot legally say you must wear a mask. So I'll just have to
So I
encourage it.
know Chicago has set up tents outside of their schools, and so as long as the weather permits, they're going to try to conduct a lot of class outside.
Chicago?
To try, yes.
That's gonna be trouble. Their
Go
winter
away.
sucks.
Well, that's
dangerous.
just what they're
That's
trying,
dangerous.
because they feel like the open air is has a little better track record, which it does. Has there been
Open
any
violence is
improvement?
crazy.
That's a whole nother podcast.
That is another one.
So,
I wouldn't have kids
has there
outside.
has there been any changes to like the airflow system in the building or anything like that? Because I know that's like a big thing. They're like, the more airflow you have, the
Man,
less
they just
likely
got
you have
thermal
of the
cameras, man. You gotta give them a
the
break.
vapor sitting around. I mean, I'm asking a question, Joe.
No, I get you.
So-
I get you.
I'm pretty sure that when this all came about in March, our system was looked into, and we already had a good filtration system of bringing in new air and not recirculating a lot. But my boss in particular also, if it's cool enough, encourages us to just open the windows too and let the fresh
cool.
air in and breeze in. So
That's good.
I know that's one of the things that we kind of try to do if we're in close proximity. We try to put a fan, just have some air circulating, things like
Yeah.
that. So, is there any I had a question. It was a quick question like Reese's.
I
Something that has backstory.
So this year you're going to be teaching first grade, correct?
yes.
Is this the spacing? So your classroom size normally, what is it?
Small. We
Like-
for some
like-
reason first grade in our building has the smallest classrooms, and we bought. Basically, we're taking out carpet time because for obvious reasons. I am going to have some carpet time, but it can't be the whole class at once. So
Mhm.
that'll have to be on a rotation. But we've put in 2 more tables to spread them out. So instead of having 4 to 5 kids at a table, hopefully we will only have 3 at a table. No shared supplies. They will all have their own drawer, their own stuff in their own spaces. no community supplies, nothing gets shared. But I think the spacing is probably going to be, and then teaching them to stay in their space is probably going to be one of the hardest tasks of this year. But
Right. I get 1 year. First graders are usually pretty active, so I'm sure
yeah,
that's going to be a
yeah.
challenge. Is there a so? But my question was, your normal classroom size would be 20 kids, 15? How many?
Oh, I thought you were sorry. I was thinking physical. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, I thought he was too.
Must be an Ashland thing.
So, well, I was just thinking we gotta separate them.
Gotta keep them separated.
Exactly. Maybe I'll play that. Or just
Yeah.
that part though.
There you go. Exactly.
In the past, so our district is also kind of weird with this because we're so rural. We'll have just like pockets of big classes and then pockets of small. So I've taught at the school I've taught at, I've had a class as small as 13. And last year I had my biggest class with 22. So between 13 and 22 is usually our class sizes, which is a very big difference in kids. But this year I think I'm sitting at 21 right now.
So are they going to cut that in half, or are they going to keep it at 21 and just try to space it out?
Yep, we're keeping it. So we'll see.
Okay.
I got one last question if you're done.
Go ahead.
Okay. So a lot of talks about vaccinations. Is the school going to, when a vaccination becomes available, is the school going to require all the students to take a vaccination?
I am not sure. If I had to guess just on knowing the area that I teach in, I would say they would probably treat it similar to the flu.
Okay. How do they handle that currently?
It's not required.
Not required.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I know a lot of people are wondering about that. I think it was Reese and I were talking about it earlier about how some people are saying that businesses or jurisdictions will say, hey, you're going to get fined if you don't get the vaccine or something ridiculous like that. But I think there's going to be a lot of concern.
I think that's going to be it. That's going to be hard. You're going to be hard pressed to require somebody to take a vaccination.
Yeah,
I mean,
think especially
it's hard to do it. It's hard to do it now with just regular chicken pox and stuff like that. You're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna have a hard time making people take vaccinations, and if you try to put some type of monetary thing on it, you're gonna be skirting some constitutional violations. And I don't think nobody wants that smoke. I don't think they want that smoke. So
exactly. I mean, I know there are definitely some vaccinations that kiddos have to come to public school, but with the Constitution stuff, it's. I mean, we've seen anti-vaxxers, and they're fighting for their right to not do that. And
I did see something about anti-vaxxers said they felt like that's a slur. I don't know what they want to be called now.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, anti-vaxxers.
I don't know what else you call them.
I don't know what else to call it. Not take the shotters. I don't know what I don't know.
They'll have to come up with their own name, and then
me personally on the vaccine, I kind of want to treat it like the new cell phone that comes out. I want to see somebody else get it first and see if work the bugs out.
That was exactly my thoughts too. Like
work the bugs out.
The first one. But...
Now, if they offering cash for trials and and free medical care for a year in case I get sick, I might think about it.
Or your right hand falls off. I mean, you never know.
I need this one.
I know. That's what I'm saying. A little bit of cash ain't gonna go that far.
Hey, I don't know, man. Some of the new prosthetics they make are pretty cool. I can have a robot hand. I could be like what was that movie?
This is not Return of the Jedi. Sorry.
That was not what I was. Alita. I could be like Battle Angel.
Oh, that's a deeper
like
reference. I love that movie though.
Down.
I like that. I like the fact that you referenced that movie. I like that movie.
Leah is like, what are y'all talking about?
Reese, you got one more question?
I was going more with the Jedi. I haven't watched Alita though.
You got to see that. It's a good movie.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, I think federally it could not happen. State by state, it's a possibility that the governor could make that happen.
I don't think it'll happen in
No.
Missouri because Mike
The
Parsons
governor-
very much so
the-
doesn't want to do that.
The governor
Yeah,
doesn't
Mike.
have that power to make people do that.
So,
Yeah.
so who over the state? Who
Nobody.
has that power?
Nobody.
Yeah, I don't think you can
The
force
only
a vaccination.
the only thing that could happen is they could say your child is required to take these vaccinations in order to come to school, and you could say, I'll take these, but I'm not taking this one because my religion says I shouldn't. And guess what? They can't make you do it.
Oh.
All right.
See Leah shaking her head. Yes, I know my stuff, man.
Right. Partially.
Do we have any other questions for Leah before we cut her loose and let her enjoy the rest of her evening? Or,
No, Leah, thank you very much. We appreciate
thank you.
all the knowledge.
Thank you, Leah.
No problem, guys.
TJ, you have any questions? You was awful quiet.
Big Mike
What?
hasn't even said a word, man.
Man, you know what? You and Reese talk for all of us, so I'm good.
Hey, a quick note though. I did a quick search and I found on health.mo.gov there is a list of all the different broadband providers throughout Missouri and what they are doing during this whole COVID situation to help people. I'm going to get a link of that and put it in the description of the video. So if you want to share this with someone or just get the link and share it with someone, there's the resource for you guys. If your kid goes to quarantine and you need internet, you can see what companies that are in service in your area will provide you.
And
Yeah,
All right.
I
Cool.
will substitute, but it ain't gonna be pretty.
I want to look into those hotspots.
There you
Yeah.
It's not going to be cheap neither.
I ain't gonna charge them elevator prices. I won't do that. That's not nice.
go. There you go.
So, Leah, appreciate you coming in and sharing the knowledge with us. And you have to teach Joel how to do math and do new math, and then he'll teach the rest of
I
us.
figured out the box with the hole of the dots and everything. I got that figured, but they were doing something else there. I was just like, this is so much longer to do it that
So,
way. I'm just like,
I got a
ugh.
question off topic. What made us go to new math? What was the project
Okay,
behind it?
so it is highly found in a lot of research. And this is one of my soapboxes, so I'll try not to ramble.
Get on it. Get on it.
Reese leans
Usually
back.
me.
You see that? Reese leaned back. He's like, I got it ready for this. Okay.
No.
Yeah, let's go.
It has zero to do with politics. I don't even know how it got wrapped up.
I never heard that
in
one.
Common Core.
I never heard the politics part.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, there
Yeah.
yeah, it's bad.
It's
Oh.
maybe that it's just Missouri then. I don't know. But it is research based findings that when you show anybody, really, not just kids, anyone, different ways to manipulate numbers, they have a greater number sense. And then they can do things in your head in their head, not your head. Sorry, good grief.
That'd be
That'd be
they
cool.
got superpowers for this.
More Jedi stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Then they can do stuff in their head that just baffles you. So really, it's just instead of for example, if you have a kid that's adding 15 plus 17, a lot of times if they just go, oh yeah, I start here and I do 5 plus 7, they just write the 12 down and then they go 1 plus 1 is 2. So the answer is 212. And they don't have any idea why that's not correct. They just know they're following the pattern. But if they get the pattern wrong, they get the answer wrong, but they don't logic enough to even see that it's wrong because they're just following the steps. But if we teach them that these are the ones and these are the 10s and you have to make this a group of 10, and that's the carrying of the 1 is not just putting the 1 over there. It's you actually have 10 objects that you are grouping together. Then they would understand, oh, well, in 12, I would only have 1 10, so I would only have 3 10s. So to get to 200 wouldn't even make sense. So basically, we're just trying to teach them how to decompose and
Did she lose you,
recompose
Sue?
numbers.
I was following. Soup's like, math is weird.
So they basically make sense of it and not just follow empty steps.
So
I see where
I
you're going
do
with it. I
math in my
understand.
head a lot. I got in trouble in high school because I could do algebraic fractions in my head. I hated showing the work because I was lazy, and I would always get them right.
Well,
I don't know if I had the box going back then, but I can listen to numbers and get within a digit of being correct. I don't have to write it down. I don't have to carry ones and all that stuff. I kind of see it. So maybe is that what you mean?
Like that,
yeah,
yeah,
Like,
you
basically.
can see it. Well, algebra is kind of different because, well, not completely different, but
I mean,
a
like
lot of algebra.
any math outside of like trigonometry
Okay.
or something. I need a piece of paper for that. But a lot of like general math. My work I do, I use a lot of fractions,
I
and
would
I don't
say
have to write that stuff down. I can just see it and do it.
I would say that you probably were strong in math, and that was and you had that number sense. So
Is
you,
that what you're trying to teach though, with
yeah,
the new math?
yeah,
Okay.
for sure. So you probably already had that logic. Like if you did 15 plus 17 and got a 200, you would be like, that's not right, and
Right.
you already understood that. But if
See,
we only taught that other way, a lot of kids don't have the capacity to understand that with just the old way of teaching.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
See-
Yeah, Soup really
see,
needed
like,
that validation.
15 plus 17 to me, the way I see it is 2 15s, that's 30 plus 2 is 32. That's how I see that
great. Yes,
in my head.
and that is also part of new math. So good job.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yes.
You could
I got
actually,
no-
you could
I
sub.
got no light but new math. My light went out.
Oh man.
Yes.
So
So that's awesome because you knew a part whole model of 17 would be 15 and 2, and you knew your doubles were 15 and 15, and that
the what?
you
My dog.
decomposed a number and then
What'd you call it? A doggle?
Double.
double.
Oh, I thought
15
you
and
said
15 is
doggle.
double.
My internet
No.
sucks. I'm
So
sorry.
that's what you're doing. That is
Yeah.
new math. You're decomposing and recomposing.
That's it.
Oh,
You were
So
you were new math before it was new. There you go.
You
I
probably
was-
just get confused because they put it in boxes in circles.
yeah. I'm like,
Sweet.
what is all that? Why are you doing
Have you
that?
seen those? There's those videos online that always pop up every once in a while. These people like they do math and like multiplication in Japan with these lines. They draw this
Yeah.
like. I'm always like, what the heck, man? That's
Well, their
amazing.
whole language is grids. They got to draw a lot of
Man,
stuff
their
to it.
language
I'm like,
is different.
Grids.
that's a lot.
It's-
That's a lot.
They read
Well,
right
Leah-
to left, top to bottom. I don't know.
I would love to follow up with you in about a month when all this is kind of in full swing.
Yeah,
If you have the time to try to tell us how it's going, that would be awesome.
yeah.
Uh,
That would be cool because I'm interested to see it too.
If we, and
Oh, the
if we
anticipation.
if we come back and your glasses are kind of cocked sideways and you got your hand on your head like this, we'll know it was bad.
We all grab our masks. and put it-
Oh, no, on the video. Oh no, Lisa. If we come back and you got a burqa on and you're like, yeah, we're back in school now and it's all good.
It's going great.
We'll know. We'll know. So,
Yes.
once again, thank you for coming in and sharing your thoughts with us here at the Fellows Forum. We really appreciate it. Best of luck to
Thank
you and the new baby. If you want to name it Brian, that's cool. I'm
I
okay
think
with
it's
it.
girl, isn't it?
Or Reese.
You're our second Brian.
Yeah.
That we should name
So-
her Brian. So
Hey,
go with Reese.
it's a good
No.
name.
No, go with Reese. Go with Reese. There you go.
Oh no, don't nobody want their kid named after candy.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's
actually,
Pieces.
That sounded
See?
worse.
Reese's
That'd be the
Pieces.
sweetest. That'd be the sweetest kid ever.
Oh my God.
Well, explain why you ain't sweet then.
somebody spoke up.
I know. I'm gonna leave that alone. That's for another podcast.
Once
Leave
again,
it
okay.
alone. Leave it alone, juicy fruit. You might be.
Oh no,
You
Not
don't know
the
the
juicy
juicy
fruit.
fruit reference. Oh my god.
that is a long, hilarious story.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I'll ask Joel later.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you again,
All
Leah,
right,
for joining us. And
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys.
good
Yeah,
luck
thank
in the
you very
school
much.
year.
Thank
Thank
you.
And I
Thank
do
you.
think it's very cool how all teachers call kiddos? Is that
I'm
something
sorry.
they teach?
It is like the biggest habit. And I'll refer to them
Every
as
teacher.
my kids. And now
Yeah.
that I'm like
Every
gonna
teacher.
actually have
Hey.
my own kid, I'm gonna be like, oh,
I'll
no,
tell you.
no,
I'll
no.
tell you this. Some people want my kids to go back to their parents because they're like, take these my kids out of my house. I'm about to go crazy.
Right.
So, all right. You have a good evening.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
too,
Thank you.
guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
That was pretty cool.
That's good. That's
Yep.
good.
Yeah,
How you doing, Big Mike? You joined late. I could tell from my team notifications you were working.
Is he even in here?
I think he walked
He's
away.
in there.
His
He's-
audio,
he's-
his video's off. I mean, he walked
His
away.
audio and video is off.
Okay.
Tyrone said something happened to his.
Yeah, he got kicked.
He got kicked. I don't know.
Oh,
But
to live in the modern era is amazing.
he got kicked for inactivity.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna have to dip out. Y'all be good, man.
Well, we are
Yep.
about to sign off.
We're about to
good.
sign off, so you just wait a
All right.
second, sucker. Joel, cue the
Sucker free.
music.
Oh, fudge. I got to get my music.
Oh, Joel ain't got the music
I
ready.
always forget.
You always forget. I
I
know.
know. I get so into the conversation, I'm not doing my prep.
Hey, you know, Reese, I think I'm gonna be saying a little silent prayer for you with that homeschooling for 2 weeks.
Man,
Still-
it
from
better be all
8 to 2:30.
You better
bruh.
you better pray for Vicky.
so here's something that
You gonna take your turn.
here's something that's gonna be happening with
I'll
us.
be at
So
work.
my wife is gonna start working from home.
Uh-huh.
So she's gonna start a new job.
Oh.
Because she had started
Congrats.
a preschool, and
Mhm.
but under concerns of income and students and what they're going to do if breakout happens with COVID, people pulling their kids out. There was concerns about if there's going to be enough money for her and her partner to continue to persist, doing this. So they kind of dissolved their partnership. She is letting her partner continue on with the school, and then she went and found another job that'll be more secure.
wow.
But that means she's going to be working from home, and so they're going to send her a laptop and everything. But we have like a 7-month-old, so it's kind of hard to find babysitters for 7-month-olds. And so we're going to be playing a little game of
I think his name is
tagging.
Joel.
Yeah, we're going to be tag teaming basically. When I'm on
Right.
meetings or I need to do a lot of work, maybe she'd be able to
Right.
help out with that, or when she's taking naps or whatever. And we've thought about everything. We have one friend who said she can watch her every once in a while.
Yeah, that's gonna be a challenge. So that's what a lot of people are saying about the working from home stuff is
It's
the
hard.
challenge of the babysitting. So
It's already hard. Like, just Reese, I've been last 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, I've been working straight from home. And like my kids are always coming up to me and go, Dad, let's play the game of life, or let's do this, let's do that.
Hey,
I'm just like, I can't do it.
I got a topic for next section.
What you got?
Can a hoe be a housewife?
what? Is the music getting to you, boy?
It's a legit topic.
Legit topic.
It's
That
all
boy
over social
said.
media.
Is
He
it?
said, "Can a hoe be a housewife?"
Cardi
See-
B started it, so we should talk about it.
Oh, Cardi B, you know how I
You
feel
know
about Cardi B.
is dead. I'm out. I
Oh,
ain't messing with y'all.
Well, we'll discuss having that as a discussion. No, that's probably not a bad topic, though.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody else might have to host that one. I might have to just sit back and watch. That's gonna be TJ Unfiltered, Fellas Forum.
You gotta send us what what the people are saying, because that might spark more
All right,
interest in it.
Joel. Speaking of that, tell them where they can find us.
All right, you can find us on social media for Facebook Fellas Forum, Instagram Fellas_Forum, Twitter at Forum Fellas, SoundCloud at Fellas Forum. You can get us on Spotify Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and of course YouTube. Make sure you like or subscribe on all the different platforms. Actually, I didn't know this until recently, that when you download the podcast off of Apple, and I'm assuming you do it with Google as well, it's available on your phone and it does not use your data. So you can download it at home, use it for driving to work, and not waste up your data, which is kind of nice and convenient. So I found myself suddenly finding way more podcasts because I'm getting tired of listening to the radio when I'm in the car.
Yes.
So But yeah, definitely like
we
and
went
subscribe.
through the whole dang music song.
We
went
did.
through-
I
oh,
talked too long. Hang on, I'm gonna start
Well,
again.
you talked too long.
I'm gonna start again.
So, you know what? That's cool. We talked too long. Two of them didn't talk long enough. That's how it goes sometimes.
I'm kind of sad Big Mike came in after we started talking about football. Man, he would have been great on that one.
Hey,
We miss you, Big Mike.
I don't miss you. Hey, guess who's the number 7 player in the NFL?
Kittle! George Kittle!
Kittle.
It's not. And guess who it ain't gonna be next year? He going through a divorce. He gonna have problems. Kelsey gonna be trash next year. He going through a divorce.
Oh, you know, trash on Kelsey.
Kelsey gonna be trash. He going through a divorce.
I don't know.
Oh,
He may
no,
he may
not
double
Kelsey.
down.
Not
Huh?
Kelsey.
He gonna double down. What you talking about? He gonna double
You
down?
know, when they're having a hard time, sometimes they're like, I'm just gonna really focus on work.
No. He gonna have problems.
We'll see.
Reese, do you know who's on HBO's what's the locker room show? What is it?
Hard Knock
Knocks.
Life.
Hard
Yeah,
Knocks.
it's the Rams.
The
Yeah.
Rams and the Chargers.
Did you watch it?
No, I don't watch it.
I wouldn't watch it either because they trash. All right, Joe. We'll see y'all next week.
See you guys.
Y'all be good.
Take
All
care.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.